Hello students, welcome to Dimpy's tutorial. Tini jang kaisa katal chapter 4 nai among ka history ni chapter 3 ruling the countryside o chapter belai ko interesting o chapter jang saima nai bai ke British Rosin India bhai India ni je system no change kharika. Naro jodi ani channel lok tala hakai ano subscribe ta prokdi nong ni bagi ang khokna nok ta kadar videos tu tung abuk jang start khainai. Starting boyo o kaisa picture tongo almost haja goje o jaga Robert Clive bahai ke Bengal ni nawab no bo sign khai tong omo sang kham khai tabu saiman nai. Poila topic inka the company becomes the Diwan. On 12 August 1765, the Mughal emperor appointed the East India Company as the Diwan of Bengal. Chini the 12 August 1765 chini the Mughal emperor Sultan Khaika je company East India Company no borok Bengal ni Diwan ni borok घोषणा खाइका took place in Robert Clive tent iko omo je omo hangkai mane Mughal emperor rok je omo khai Robert Clive omo bini area wo as Diwan the company became the chief financial administrator of the territory under its control. Diwan ni asol meaning hangkai finance minister phanrom. A trading company had also to ensure that it could buy the product it needed and sell what it wanted. Tabo jekono finance je bono rakha je ministry no rakha bong ni kintu daitwa tongo je boro o product no bo jang hoite painai bose ke phalnai bo jaga phalnai bum dikla phalnai omo bong ni boro dependent. Being an aligned power, it needed to pacify those who in the past have ruled the countryside and enjoyed authority and prestige. Those who had held local power had to be controlled, but they could not be entirely eliminated. Tabuk agi rogo je borok o area control khaya. Mo jeng saima nangna je borok komono kaham ke naya. Borok no control kon khaima no hai ke bong no o jang hoide kari phan rohamano. Tabuk Sanpornai revenue for the company. The company had become the Diwan, Mosang Saimanka, minister from the financial minister. Primarily as a trader, it wanted a large revenue income but was unwillingly to set up any regular system of assessment and collection. Je revenue mane rang. Borok saga o jaga borok to phai o jaga as a minister kai kintu borok saimiya bo jaga borok am khai kai bundi ke rang manai o bok saimiya. The effort was to increase the revenue as much as it could and buy fine cotton and silk cloth as cheaply as possible. Bok saga jeng rang asa ke generate khainai যেখানে जों गाहाम quality cotton te silk mani pai mana bagi dam komo tarbo जों mono kaham mane kubang damo phalna bagi. Within 5 years the value of goods bought by the company in Bengal doubled. Agi jemon ke borok West Bengal from the Bengal area wo jese borok mani pai mani also hoite double te o dam kom ri borok mani pai kya. Before 1765 the company had purchased goods in India by importing gold and silver from Britain. Now the revenue collected in Bengal could finance the purchase of goods for export. O jaga goods money meaning gai manai. Brok tam sada brok Indian hoite je brok rangsa ro pai silver ro pai je brok Britain of halka mo rang bai ne brok tisa kaham ke mani pai tisa kaham ke halna bagi brok try kai mono bongor business puilawo. Soon it was clear that the Bengal economy was facing a deep crisis. Asing nong sama kai because harutam khaja puilaw kai calm down ke pai ka. Engka ase bok tam no ase ke dam kom ke man to ke bok te mon dam kom khai ke pai ka. Anti bang tam kha je market o je Bengal ni market o ane crisis na start kha. Te kongwa mani ro dam kom ke ma phalta tu company ro bong no rang ra maya. Am bagin no je kun mani pai mani mane je kun mani phal mani borok je farmer kon borok kono amako onek kom ke phalna bagi bong ni production bo komung thanga. Te 1770 no khai tam phaiga kaisa famine mane flood pan phaiga kun ek topic ka tamo the need to improve agriculture. Tabuk jeng bahai ke chin agriculture chin je kheti omur bahai ke jeng improve khainai. Most company officials began to feel that investment in land had to be encouraged and agriculture had to be improved. the East India Company rok tam chong ka de chang land no invest khai ke chin bai kam nai the agriculture no bande hi improve khai ke chin bagai te bo revenue generate khani amasang te bo kam kai khai ma sanai. Company finally introduced the permanent settlement in 1793. Permanent settlement hai kai o jagan tongui o jagan no kam khai ne. Terms of the settlement, the Rajas and Talukdars were recognized as Zamindar. Agin je Raja rock. Amorok tahu tahun thaga Zamindar ngai thanga. They were asked to collect rent from the peasants and pay revenue to the company. Zamindar hangai jang tam sayam ba je onak kuma land to ngai. Inge agi to Raja ngai onak kuma jaga zamin to enda ba. Inge bro sadan rok o jaga zamin no rok use khadi orok kheto khadi. Kheto khai makatang ban kai te makatang kai mani je peasants rok je farmer rok je vyapari rok je mono phalnai rok amon hoite no tax na wei company no din saka. Since the revenue demand of the state would not be increased, the zamindar would benefit from increased production from the land. Zamindar tam kai ba company no sudu kaisa amount simi joma ruta longa ru kintu ban baki je amount je rang mama kai borong nijin baki no use khai payo. Amba in company chong ka amon hoite borok ase profit hingya kintu zamindar kai amon bagi hoite onek kuma profit hingko. Nok je picture nugi makhano o borong kha Charles Cornwallis omono permanent settlement ni puru governor general tongmani. The problem tam no jaka permanent settlement ni. Company officials soon discovered that the zamindars were in fact not investing in the improvement of land. Borok tam saimang kha tam nu kha je zamindar rok kai land no kam khaina bagi borok asak invest khaya. The revenue that had been fixed were so high that the zamindar found it difficult to pay. Anyone who failed to pay the revenue lost his zamindari. Borok tam khai kaisa settlement khaiga jefur borok nu kha je zamindar kam kai use khaya land no. Inge borok kaisa revenue high khaiga ma tax high khaiga taki zamindar mano ma khainai. Khaya hangai boasak tax kuma company no rimangna. By the first decade of the 19th century, the situation changed. 19th century fighte situation take changing. The prices in the market rose and cultivation slowly expand. Market अपन खास से मानी रोगन दाम बारी ना starting का ते खेती बारी जे खाइमान ओमो ते किसा बांगी थंगा. This meant an increase in the income of the zamindars but no gain for the company since it could not increase a revenue demand that had been fixed permanently. Nge company tam nu kha je omo zamindar ombag simisi ko फायदा हो किंतु company बाई omo फायदा ही है क्योंकि borok certain revenue certain tax borok sirma bagai. Even then, the zamindar did not have an interest in improving the land. Some had lost their land in the earlier years of the settlement. Kaise koi zamindar je interest kare farming rogo land no invest khana bagai omoro ka aste aste bong ni zamindari thangpa kya mane bong land ro kampai nai peka. Ngomno sereng omon je nugai alka zamindar rogo kisa kiza ka ngai borok baste aste land ro use khana start ka. On the other hand, in the villages, the cultivators found the system extremely oppressive. To pay the rent, he had to often take a loan from the moneylender, and when he failed to pay that rent, he had evicted from the land he had cultivated for generations. Je farmer rock, tam nukha, je खेती बारी खाई ऊपर असर रांगमाया, इसी बेसिबा का जमींदार रांगनाई पियो. Nge borok tam khai besibak remong je kheto je pan borok mairok pan kaina muktam pan kaina hangke borok buni hoje loan nari khai zamindar hoje loan nari khai borok jodi loan subaili hangke tam khai zamindar rok ol bong je kheto nai pi je borok ekdam generation je bongsho ne hoje bongsho khai te mani o jaga ni amono borok nai pai. A new system is devised. Northwestern provinces of the Bengal presidency, most of this area is now in Uttar Pradesh. An Englishman called Mackenzie devised the new system which came into effect in 1822. Collector went from village to village inspecting the land, measuring the field and recording the customs and rights of different groups. Donc after tamangka collector tam ke je land ni jeman tahsildar pa nang ku ne official staff nang ka brok tam ge para thangai borok naika je land bumtei jaga bumsaktor o jaga borok koijona borok ekta jagao oko khetorok khai omorok naikha. The estimated revenue of each plot within a village was added up to calculate the revenue that each village or mahal had to pay. Inko omo nai si borok revenue besek ma nai omo borok chong nai. The charge of collecting the revenue and paying it to the company was given to the village headman. Borok je kheto bari khaya ko je rent na mani je tax na mani omo hangka je village je headman oko panchayat khai phandom di borok si omono zamindar nor nai. This system came to be known as the Mahalwari settlement. Omono hanjabu Mahalwari settlement belai no important omo in the exam phaimanu je what do you understand by Mahalwari settlement? The Monroe system. In the British territories in the south, there was a similar move away from the idea of permanent settlement. The new system that was devised came to be known as the Riotwar or Riotwari. North of Hangai Mujinal di Mahalwari settlement. The south of Hangai tamo Riotwari or Riotwar. Monroe felt that in the south there were no traditional zamindars. The Monroe omo the Thomas Monroe tamsongkha Bojongkha boto Governor General of Madras. Bojongkha je north ni kahikai south andi kuno zamindari system karihne. The settlement, they argued, had to be made directly with the cultivators or riots. Riots mane je cultivate khaine land no. Je kuno ekta kuno problem phano face hangka pro nije nije brok solve khayo. Oro kintu brok zamindar thangai problem no sawi bong no solve khayo brok nije nije solve khayo. Who had tilled the land for generation. Their field had to be carefully and separated, surveyed before the revenue assessed was made. Tabuk nok seman kana south by north ni the zamindari system more different. North of zamindari system to south of zamindari system kare. All was not well. Driven by the desire to increase the income from land revenue, officials fixed too high revenue demand. Peasants were unable to pay. Yachts fled the countryside and villages became deserted in many regions. Optimistic officials had imagined that the new system would transform the peasant into rich, enterprising farmers, but this did not happen. The company rock, the Mahalwari, the riot system of Boksongkha, the Omokhayakai, the farmer of Borganang night. Into in reality, Nogzaka Omo settlement Kaikun Lap Unglia. उल्टा फार्मर के से खेतो खाइना स्टार्ट माने खाजे खाइलेगी आसु कुमा टैक्स थाउपे खाइ खेतो खाइने बा बिजलाई खेतो खायन दमा सौते आलका जागा ब्रक शिफुं थांबाय के थांबाय बे आलका जागा निजिनि पारा या करे निजिनि खेतो रक या करे. Crops for Europe. British also realized that the countryside माने पारा रग could not only yield revenue, it could also grow the crops that Europe required. The late 18th century, the company was trying its best to expand the cultivation of opium and indigo. Brok tautam no khaje British market mane opium te indigo ni demand onek bari dong. The British persuaded or forced cultivators in various parts of India to produce other crops. Kintu British haroka India ka shuru bokam bhai jute kayo bodaga Bengal area wo asamoga tea ta kaidu sugarcane in United Provinces or now Uttar Pradesh, wheat ke boro kaidi Punjab, cotton Maharashtra and Punjab, rice in Madras. O area o jaga boro mani kayu omonoro mutu khai na no haide bo khaiga. Nong ni boyo o je duita picture to mani o picture kintu kisa similarities en phan manu kintu asa similarities kare. O sauje o jaga je blue color use khaije ka omo khai to Andhra Pradesh os nam jamani omo hangai England os nam jamani rok saka je blue color use khaije ka omo hangai indigo jang thak semana ji indigo plantation bahai ke chin India sopai kha te dum te khai omo ni ko problem khai India bo omo norok khana kana ki TV ro phan khana kana news ro phan khana kana omo sangtini kham kai sai man nai. Why the demand for Indian indigo? 13th century, Indian indigo was being used by cloth manufacturers in Italy, France and Britain to dye clothes. The indigo omo hangai bobo jaga use Italy wo yo sungjaw France te Britain yo sungjaw Reno color kind. Small amount of Indian indigo reached the European market and its price was very high. Is a amount of India was the indigo plant came on British market soika, European market soika in the on neck dam kubango. It was grown in northern Italy, southern France, and in parts of Germany and Britain. Omo hongka agyo bobo jaga kaijak Italy wo France, Germany, and Britain. The French began cultivating indigo in Saint Domingue in the Caribbean island, the Portuguese in Brazil, the English in Jamaica, and the Spanish in Venezuela. Indigo plantation also came up in many parts of North America. Omokai o jago indigo ne plantation khaijo kunai nok poi nai. By the end of 18th century, the demand for Indian indigo grew further. কিন্তু আস্তে আস্তে আমরা জায়গা যে ইন্ডিয়া খাই মানে অমনি কিন্তু ডিমান্ড অনেক বাড়িকা. West Indies and America collapsed for a variety of reasons. Between 1783 and 1789, the production of indigo in the world fell by half. Cloth dyers in Britain now desperately look for new sources of indigo supply. কিন্তু তামনো জায়গা যে West Indies te America kisa problem ngai indigo kai jaglia মানে indigo polo cultivation khailia. কিন্তু তাবকে তাম nang Britain dokte indigo color nangu. Am bagai broktam hage India o borok saka je India omono kai dikni. Iko faced with the rising demand of indigo in Europe. 18th century indigo cultivation in Bengal expanded rapidly and Bengal indigo came to dominate the world market. Aste tamkha je Bengal je indigo kai mane oma aste mane onek famous na starting ka omane onek market demand by na starting ka. In 1788 only about 30% of the indigo imported into Britain was from India. The pura market of 30% simisi Indian hoite indigo import khajaka. Attracted by the prospect of high profits, numerous Scotsmen and Englishmen came to India and became planters. Those who had no money to produce indigo could get loans from the company and the bank that were coming up at the time. As the Scottish, the Scotland, the Englishman dong hoy tam hoy brok India phai brok indigo ni business khana starting ka. Ge bok tam saka ko je farmer no nok chin hoy te sung no dang nai. Nok ru sung indigo plantation khai simi sung no rudi. How was indigo cultivated? There were two main systems of indigo cultivation, niche and ryote. Within the system of niche cultivation, the planters produce indigo in land that he directly controls. Niche cultivation katama niji jaga wana niji no cultivate khainai. He either bought the land or rented it from another zamindar and produced indigo by directly employing hired laborers. Otam kai nijin jaga wa hai ke bunyo hoite jaga nahari andi hena beseng bagan nahari ren nahari o jaga o bunyo kal mane labor nahari kam khari mane eon jago niche cultivation. The problem with niche cultivation takta mangkha cultivation problem indigo could be cultivated only on fertile land and these were already densely populated. Indigo kai mane jekhane fertile jekhane ha kamo simisi indigo kintu kai mano. Only small plots scattered over the landscape could be acquired. Population bishi tonga bagai land robust kare. A large plantation required a vast number of hands to operate, and laborers was needed precisely at a time when peasants were usually busy with their rice cultivation. Sanga semanjini India or rice or one cultivate kaijogo. Getamanga nang mai se kai tonga kai nang indigo buhru kai buhru anai sa e anti bai borok kida bezalang za khamon tegi. India baktam khaika. Niche cultivation on a large scale also required many plow and blow carts. Mane kaina bagai kai bono bagat langna boy onoguma gai nango onekuma darong nango. 1 biga of indigo cultivation required 2 plow. Mane kaisa line kaina bagai duita kudal nango. This meant that a planter with 1000 bigas would need 2000 plows. Mane asik jomina asik kaina bagai 2000 ta kudal nango. Investing on purchase and maintenance of plow was a big problem. nor could supply be easily got from the peasants since their plough and bullocks were busy on their rice field, again exactly at the same time that the indigo planters need than them. Tamnu jagar o same time no borok mai ni bo harvest khai mane mai rana start ho. Gya phono indigo bo rana start ho. Ke tamung kamu problem ha. Ki borok mai thangi phalnai na ki indigo tlangai phalnai. Late 19th century, 25% of the land producing indigo was under this system. Jeborok land jeborok kheto omon hoye 25% borok or land borok indigo ma kaine hini bong kaisa terms and condition si rekha company ro. Nong nang omo hombak ru pula tseng porikha niche cultivation. Tau pol norok pornai riots cultivation omong gang non porlia norok mon niji poiri omo tikisa easy u jenni u niche ni hoide omo nok dijin pori omo je nok bujen to kai nok ana kindu comment section no comment khemen omo hangkai nong bai khombo nong ni boyo of picture nugi mangana how was indigo produced omo hangkai nong boy nine hadi omang nong no bujirilia. The Blue Rebellion and after Blue Rebellion ngai indigo no mane refuse khaimani omon hanja mane indigo no boycott khaimani bro minta problem kha indigo ka isinga khaimani je indigo ne cost kanyan tangai ki ek to fertile land ma kayu si indigo ne ek bar ka khamai no nang o jago nang te sal ka mani kaini ki mo land ni je nutrients no bonai to yo ngai omon login bro mai kai nango bro mbagi onek problem nga je farmer ka mege indigo no kaina musunglia ne bro company no saga kidu company khalia bro ka as a small war anti sai spreading thanga on Blue Rebellion no khain ni je podi angana in short simi songa kam pu joru no omo jadi kun tham bujan to ngai no ana kundu comment section no comment khaimano angong je main omo no phrangai rekha or in the last paragraph o chapter ni omo ki nai nahadi after tamang kha jefro or rebel ko mo starting a war gandhi was South African hoide ko phai kya tapore botam hakya bo movement obo bo mane bo je movement kaya champaran movement apro bo indigo ni je farmer rok no borok thangai borok baino daily khai khai omono borok oro sajaka norok jodi osaton madi kum pham buja ha kai no ano kindu comment section no comment khai manu norok jodi ani video saja kai ano like te subscribe khai di tin no dolog no share khai di tin norok ani video no kono problem to ha kai kum pham bujan to ha kai no ano kindu comment section no comment khai manu tin bagi asung no hambai